And you Israelites that refuse to wake up, that look at us as if we're the enemy, you better take heed what you do to us.
Right.
You better take heed, meaning you better tread lightly. That's what that's talking about. That's what the Most High is saying. The Most High is saying, you better tread lightly when it comes to these prophets of mine. When it comes to the prophets of God, you better tread lightly. You better be careful. Read.
And cast away their cords from us.
Right, and cast, read that again.
And cast away their cords from us. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
Right, the Most High said he gonna laugh at all that. All your things that you trying to do, we gonna laugh at that, man.
That's right.
All right, all you did when you canceled when you canceled Kyrie Irving, all you did was make the message more bigger than what it was. If you would have just ignored it, Mr. So-called white man, that's why you're dumb as hell, man.
No wisdom.
You have no wisdom, man. No wisdom at all. If you would have just ignored it, it would have been swept under the rug. Nobody would have heard about it. It would have been another footnote, right? But you made it an issue. You made it an issue, so now it's your fault. And we thank you for that, because the Most High, all that did was help us spread the word that much more.
That's right.
By you canceling Kyrie, the Most High gonna use that to bring in hundreds, if not thousands, of more brothers into this truth.
That's right.
Planet. So at this point, whatever happens to them brothers, may the Most High be with them, but they serve their purpose, man. Read.
The Lord shall have them in derision.
The Most High gonna have you in derision. That's why you don't understand we thought we were canceling them. We thought that would stop the movement. We thought that we would destroy the movement. No, you didn't. All you did was make him that much stronger, man. You dumb as hell, so-called white man. You done created a martyr. Read.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath.
Most High gonna speak to you in your wrath. And you gonna pay for that too, man. Y'all gonna pay. That's why the NBA right now, man, your ratings are low. You got some of the lowest ratings ever. Football got the lowest ratings. Nobody's watching sports like that, man. Not like they used to. Because you want to make it political. Just go out there and play basketball. A lot of y'all got, I forgot that white chick name. She said to Bron, she said, why don't you just shut up and dribble? That's what y'all need to do up in there, man. Shut the hell up and dribble, man. Just play basketball, entertain us, do your job.
Because Lauren Taylor or something like that?
But you wanna go and you wanna make everything political, right? You wanna be what they call it, SJW, right? You wanna be a SJW and wanna come out with all these political statements that really ain't about nothing, man. That ain't about nothing. What the hell did Black Lives Matter do for our people? Y'all was putting that on your jersey. You was taking your jerseys off. Remember all that nonsense? Taking your jerseys off, walking to the middle of the court, putting your jersey up there. All that for what, man? For nothing. To make a spectacle and a show of it. Then y'all got Black Lives Matter, all this donated money, over $80 million, almost $100 million they collected from our people. And what did they do with it? Look it up. Go check there's a movie by Candace Owens. What is it called? Y'all know that movie? Yeah, it's a documentary about Black Lives Matter. All right, y'all should watch that. And she exposes it and follows the money. You know what they say when you want to seek out corruption? Follow the money. And guess what she found out? A lot of that money went to transgenders. It went to the gay community. all right? The so-called gay community, the so-called transgender community. Here are people are donating their welfare checks to Black Lives Matter, thinking that it's gonna save them or help them in the long run. And what were they doing with that money? Buying extravagant houses, buying all type of cars, bailing their people out of prison, taking the money, going to strip clubs, going to what you call that, cam shows, the women that be on camera, cam shows, putting money into that.
OnlyFans.
Spending money on OnlyFans, spending money on the transgender community. This is what they was doing with all that money. But here Kyrie and Ye speaking out, right, against what's going, the corruption of this society and this world, and trying to wake up our people and tell them that they're the Hebrews, and they want to try to cancel them. The only ones that said any bit of truth, that came from the heart, that came from, look, this is just my opinion. But apparently, you don't have a right to an opinion anymore.
Bring it out.
Read.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Most High gonna speak to you in his wrath, and vex you in his sore displeasure. God is angry right now. Give me the book of Amos, I think it's the 9th chapter. Read what you got.
51.
Where we at?
You just said something.
Oh, 50, start at verse,
5.
yeah, you can start at 5, I guess. How long is the chapter? Go ahead, yeah, start at, the verse where it talks about, no, not 5, where it talks about, I can't see. Give me a light.
All right.
The one where it talks about,
I was looking for it too.
yeah, verse 16.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
But unto the wicked God saith,
The Most High is speaking to you wicked, man. Specifically you so-called white people. And you so-called Jews, man. You so-called Jews, you Amalekites. You are the wickedest people on the planet is what you are, man.
That's right.
You are evil as hell, man. You are a bunch of evil-ass, wicked-ass people, man. And you walk around like you're righteous and more holier than thou. And you're not. And you don't have the grace of the Most High. You don't know the Bible. You don't know the Torah. Read.
What hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
Right, the Most High said unto the wicked, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Meaning who, and basically in layman's terms and modern day terminology, this is what God is telling you. Who the hell are you, so-called white man, to pick up my Bible? Who the hell are you to try to teach morality according to the Bible? Who the hell do you think you are? Because you're the wicked. You can't teach this book. This book is not meant for you. It's not your book. It was not written by your ancestors. You so-called white Jews, you are converts to Judaism, man.
Bring it out.
Your ancestors came from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. You're nothing but Khazars and Khazarians.
That's right.
Is what you are. And you converted to Judaism. So ultimately, you stole the so-called Negro man's nationality and our tongue and our language and our culture. Is what you did. Read.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction.
Seeing you hate instruction, right? You so-called white people, even in America. You want to build this country as if it was a Christian society. As if it was a righteous Christian society. Now look at your society. Your Christian righteous society done turned into a demonic, hell-raising society is what the hell this place is, man. This is hell on earth is what you created. Read.
And cast my words behind me.
Because you claim to be a Christian society, you got on your money and God we trust. You say in the Constitution you believe in God, but yet when it comes to passing your laws and to passing your ordinances and so forth, do you deal with the Bible? No, you don't. You just pass laws talking about it's okay to transition children from genders and all that. when that's totally against God, and it's totally against the Bible, and it's totally against nature.
That's right.
But yet you still want to do it. Why? Because you're an evil, wicked society, man. And you want to create a society where there's nothing but pedophiles and grown-ass men sleeping with little kids is what you want to do. You know how many people right now, since they opened up them borders down in South America, coming into this country, you know there's hundreds of thousands of children being molested that's coming into this country over them borders. When you look at the news media, why you see all these men carrying little babies, little girls, little boys, walking into this country with 2 babies on their shoulder? Because each of those babies costs about $10,000 here in America. $20,000. And guess what? Pedo Joe, we already know he's a pedophile. Pedo Joe loves it so. Read on.
Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consensus with him.
Right, when you see a thief, you consensus with him. Meaning you get down with the thievery. You get down with the jug. Right? When you see a thief, you want to get that. You want parts of that. You so-called white people, man, you so-called Jews, y'all got your hand in everything, man. Right. Everything corrupt in this society, you got your hands in it. From the porn industry, you know who was one of the biggest in the stock market contributors and funders of the porn industry? You'll never guess. It was the Catholic Church. That's right, you heard it here. It was the Roman Catholic Church that was getting money, making millions of dollars off of the porn industry. The so-called Jews do the same thing. The so-called Jews during slavery, during the transatlantic slave trade, guess who owned and was insuring most of those ships that was bringing slaves over here to this country? That was bringing black Hebrew Israelites over into this country. Guess who owned those ships? Guess who was insuring those ships? The so-called Jews. They were making all type of money by the slave market. Why nobody is bringing that out? Why nobody is talking about that? Why hasn't these Jews apologized? The so-called Jews made Kyrie Irving apologize, gave him $500,000, and they still said, we don't accept your apology. He should have never gave them a goddamn thing is what he should have did. That's why you can't compromise with these people, man. You can't compromise. You give them an inch, they gonna want a mile.
You know.
Once you on their sites, there's no compromising with them. Read.
Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and thou hast been partaker with adulterers.
Right, thou hast been partakers with adulterers. You have spiritual adultery and physical adultery, man. How were they partakers with adulterers? Remember, during slavery, they would go and rape your woman. Right, and then after a period of time, they no longer had to rape her. That's what a lot of our people fail to understand. A lot of our women just became whores for the so-called white men. And their husband became their pimps. And then they carried it on all the way up until 2021 or 22, whatever year this is. Right, we going into 2023 real soon. And our people still in that slave mentality. That's a slave mentality, man. To make your woman a whore and you think you're gonna pimp her. Now all of a sudden these women don't need you to pimp them no more. They their own pimps. That's why a lot of these women, what are they doing? They're doing OnlyFans. They're following the rest of these celebrities that are whores, that being ran through by the other rappers. And they teaching our young women that it's okay, that you could do the same thing and get the same amount of success and have the bag and all that. Which they selling them a fantasy is what they doing. Read.
Thou givest thy mouth to evil.
Right, thou givest your mouth to evil, you so-called white people. This is what you do. You give your mouth and all your thoughts unto evil. And you so-called Jews, especially you so-called Jews, because you're the wickedest, you're the most wicked of all so-called white people. And whether you call yourself French, Caucasian, Russian Caucasian, German Caucasian, British Caucasian, Jewish Caucasian, you're all Caucasian. Y'all all come from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. You're the same people, man. One just calls himself an American Christian, the other one, or a Protestant, the other one calls himself Jewish, adding the words ISH, meaning you're not really a Jew, you're just wishing to be a Jew, is what you are. Go ahead.
And thy tongue frameth deceit.
Read on.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Right, your brother is the so-called Negro, West Indian, Puerto Rican. Because we come from the same mother and father, Jacob and Rebecca. Right, we come from Jacob and Rebecca. That's our mother and our father, who had Isaac and Rebecca. We come from Isaac and Rebecca, who had Jacob and Esau, or Esau and Jacob, because Esau was the eldest. So you so-called white people, you come from the twin brother of Jacob, who is Esau. Read.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Right, it says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Meaning they look at us and slander us. That's why they promote. Remember, who controls the music industry? The so-called Jews. The so-called Jews. They're the CEOs. They're the top dogs within the music industry. And what do they promote? What do they push? Debauchery, sell drugs, kill each other. Right? No longer do they have positive rap. I mean, you got it out there, but it's underground. The mainstream rappers, they all talk about the same thing, killing each other, doing drugs, making whores out of their women. And who's promoting that? Who's giving the big deals for that type of music? The so-called white man, the so-called Jews that run this industry. That's who's doing it, man. Right? When you have somebody because you go in there and talk about, try being a rapper and go in there and rap about some positivity. They're gonna come in there and tell you right in the booth and say, look, man, if you really want to make money and you want to sell records and you want to sign this record deal, we need to have you say the N-word at least 10 more times, 50 more times throughout this album. Right? You ain't saying the N-word enough. You didn't call women whores enough. We need to say how much you love money more. Rap about those things. Rap about running up on your ops. Rap about running on the ops, how much you love money and drugs, love doing drugs, love sipping lean, and you gotta say the N-word at least 30 more times in that song. And then we'll sign you to a record deal. If you don't do all that, then you ain't popping. They're not gonna push your record or give you any type of deal or any type of money. Read.
Verse 21, these things hast thou done.
Right, the Most High said, these things hast thou done. What did the so-called white man do? He murdered, he raped, he put us in slavery, put chains on us for no reason, right? He put drugs in our community. When our community was strong and prosperous, remember, our community was, right after the Emancipation Proclamation, the communities amongst the blacks and the so-called Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, the people on that sign, you Israelites, our communities were strong. That's when we had our own Black Wall Street. We had Rosewood, right? We had doctors. We had lawyers. We had politicians, right? We had wealth. We had our own communities. And then what the so-called white man do? He want to give us welfare. Kick the husband out the home.
Bring it out.
Take the father out the home.
Bring it out.
If you want this free money, black woman, we'll give you free money, we'll give you food stamps. The only thing we want you to do is get rid of the black man. Get rid of your backbone. Get rid of that man that supports you. And you see how the conspiracy works against you, man. They taught the black woman, you have to be a strong, remember what black women used to say? I'm a strong, independent black woman, and I don't need a man. They taught the black woman how to be masculine. Black women are masculine as hell. I'm a strong, independent black woman, and I don't need a man. At the same time, they was telling you that. They was telling the men, you have to be feminine. You have to be a man with sensitivity. I can't sing, but y'all remember the song, right? Y'all remember that song? Ralph Tresvant. You need a man with sensitivity. All these stupid ass R&B love songs. Give me some more. Give me some more.
Keith Sweat.
Yeah, Keith Sweat. You know what I'm saying? Crying for their woman. Talking about how much they love you, baby, baby, baby. Right? And feminizing the men. Look at the men in the music industry, right? I'm going back now. You look at Rick James, right? I just love Rick James, but he was feminine as hell, man. He was a little fruity. You know what I'm saying? He was a little fruity. Prince, right? You have Prince. These dudes are all fruity, right? Michael Jackson, one of the greatest artists of all time. Super duper fruity. Right? This is the image that they was promoting. This is the black man that we want you to be, right? And at the same time, they're teaching and telling the black woman, you could be a strong, independent black woman, and you don't need a man, right? And then all the black women want to act more tough and more brolic than the black man. Go up to a black woman and say something to her crazy. See if she don't try to fight you. I don't give a damn how big you is. But she ain't gonna run and tell her man like, that's what she should be doing. She should say, what? Hold up, I'm going to get my husband. Talk that joke to my husband. Right? Instead, they want to be the warriors. Now they got a damn movie called The Warrior Queen or whatever the hell it is. Huh?
Warrior King.
No, not the king. I'm talking about the warrior queen or whatever.
Woman
the
king.
woman queen king.
Woman king.
Yeah, man.
Woman king.
You know what I'm saying? Then you watch what was that movie? Black Panther. They had all the women all brolic, like they beating up on dudes. Man, get the hell out of here, man. Ain't no woman. I don't give a damn how many weights you gonna lift, man. You might be able to beat up a couple of these dudes out here that don't work out or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? If you got some type of skill. But at the end of the day, women, y'all don't stand a chance against a man, not in a real fight. Y'all know that. Right, you don't have the muscle fiber, the twitch memory, you don't got the bone density. And that's no shot at you, it's just what it is, man. Stop listening to the so-called white man that you equal to a man. That you could do everything a man could do. I can do everything a man could do. Now the so-called white man done taught you how to hate your man, to hate your king, to hate your God. And now look at our people. Our people are lost, man.
Bring it out.
Now the women want to be men, and the men want to be damn women, man.
That's right.
Is that the society that you want? Is that the future of our people? Is that the future of this nation? The so-called Negro, Indian, Puerto Rican? That all the men are going to be sissified and homified, get their penises chopped off, grow titties, and then the women cutting their titties off, man. This is why the Bible says, never trust your enemy. For like as iron rusted, so does his wickedness, man.
That's right.
Everything that he's taught us has been a lie. The whole women's movement was a lie.
Right.
The whole I'm an independent black woman was a lie.
That's right.
A lot of our people was looking up to Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey ain't got no children. She claims she's in a relationship with Stedman.
I think she with Gail.
Right? And what did she teach our people? The whole feminine movement to hate your husband, to hate your man, to hate your children, because that's exactly what it did, man. And now you got all these black women that don't have, now they're getting older and up in age. All right, sis. Now they're getting older and up in age, and they don't got no children. They don't got no family. They don't got no grandchildren. So what's gonna happen to them? They're gonna get old, they're gonna have a bunch of cats living in an apartment somewhere, still talking about they don't need a man. Don't you know black, old black woman, old Hispanic woman, Puerto Rican? And when I say black, I'm talking about everybody on that sign right there. The so-called Negro, West Indian, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, we're the same people, man.
That's right.
So when I say black, I ain't just talking about the so-called black man, right? I'm talking about all of our people, man, that's scattered throughout North, South, and Central America, and those that scatter all throughout the world. You so-called black men and women need to get your stuff together and
That's
get
right.
man. We need each other. Talk about you don't need a man. What you mean you don't need a man, man? 20 years from now, what's gonna happen? 30 years from now, what's gonna happen? And you see a lot of those that was in the feminist movement in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Now they're getting old, they have no children, they have no money, they have no stability, they have no backbone, they have no king, they have no love. The only thing they got is a house full of damn cats, man.
Read up.
You done been lied to. Read what you got. You got something?
15:21. This is Psalms chapter 15, verse 21.
Look it out.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
So what is the Most High saying? He's saying, these things hast thou done, speaking to the so-called white man, the so-called Jews, you so-called white Jews. You did all these things. And the Most High said, I kept silent. Meaning he didn't punish you right away. You did all these things. You put us in slavery. You told us Jesus was a black man. Do you know how blasphemous that is? I mean, you told us Jesus was a so-called white man. When we found out that you lied to us. Remember, you had people actually worshiping this damn demonic image, man. There was a time in my life when I actually feared this image, because I was taught it from a little child that this was Jesus, that this bastard right there was Jesus Christ, and now we know that he's not. We found out that that bastard on the floor right there is nothing but Caesar Borgia, and a lot of y'all still fear this image, man. A lot of y'all won't step on it, you won't smack it. You still have fear in your heart that this is God, that this somehow is God. How the hell can we take God and make him as Staples? Hold up, we got this from Staples. It cost me like, a couple dollars. How the hell we gonna take God, go to Staples, let me get God, put him on a picture, and we gonna put him on a damn sign, and then we gonna smack that sign up. Is that your God? Don't you know how angry the Most High is? Don't you know how angry Christ is? Whom you ignorantly call Jesus Christ? I would be mad as hell. How many of y'all are mad at the fact that remember back in the days in, this is before a lot of our time, but you can look up documentaries of this. You had all these artists, right? Like, you had these Edomites, these so-called white people, that was taking black music, right? They'll have a black man record an album, what's his name? Little Richard or something, right? For an example. And then they would take his song and his voice and put the album out with white people on the album cover.
It's called a crossover.
As if they're the ones singing it.
Right.
They did that same thing with Elvis Presley, right? They say Elvis Presley was the king of rock. Don't you know Elvis Presley was stealing music from black people?
Right.
He was like the song, there was a bunch of songs, I forget them. But he stole a lot of those songs, man. Jailhouse Rock and all that. Right? Jailhouse Rock was stolen from a so-called black man.
He ain't never been in jail.
All right? And James Brown, he's had a lot of his music taken. So now our people, they show some type of outrage about that. Right? You get mad about that. Like, damn, they stole these brothers' songs, didn't pay them, didn't give them the credit. None of that, right? But what about Christ? Y'all don't have no outrage about that? That they took your big brother and told you he was a so-called white man? That's like That's like 100 years from now, right? They come out and say, Michael Jordan was a so-called white man. He looked like this. He looked like Larry Bird, right? They take Larry Bird and put him as the new Jordan. That's the equivalent of that, man. How many of y'all will be outraged about that?
God.
Right.
Well, they did it to the Messiah. They did it to Christ. Read that again.
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 21. Bring it out. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent.
Right, the Most High said, these things has you done. Meaning you did all these atrocities throughout the world, and the Most High hasn't punished you. He hasn't punished you. Meaning the punishment, then it comes speedily. Go ahead.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
So you started to tell yourself, damn, well, I committed all these atrocities against the Negro, and God hasn't punished me yet? Well, damn, I'm gonna keep doing it, right? Or maybe I did all these atrocities against the so-called Negro, the Israelites. He hasn't punished me yet. Well, maybe God is white. Maybe he does look like me. Maybe he is on my side. Right. This is what you began to tell yourself, Mr. So-called white man. You thought that I was altogether such as one as thyself. Meaning you began to believe your own lies. You began to actually believe and think that God was on your side. Read what the Most High says next.
But I will reprove thee.
Meaning no. The Most High is going to correct you, so-called white man. He's going to correct your mistake. And you made a grave mistake, boy.
That's right.
You made a grave mistake, boy. And if you don't understand that, man, you see what's that reporter's name, man? That damn devil, man. He's a devil too, man. The one that interviewed Kanye, that interviewed Ye, and Ye kept calling him boy. Yeah. He kept calling him boy. He was like, don't call me boy. He was like, look, boy, you ain't let me finish my thought, boy. The British dude, what's his name? It's at the tip of my tongue. You know what I'm saying? But Kanye was doing the right thing. Ye was doing the right thing. He was calling that disrespectful devil a boy. Because that's exactly Pierce Morgan. Because Pierce Morgan is nothing but a boy. And Pierce Morgan is a damn devil that's all about the global elite and pushing the global elite's agenda, man.
Bring it out.
He doesn't have independent thought. He pushes the same narrative that everybody pushes, man. Pierce Morgan, you're a damn demon and a devil, man.
That's right.
And you never let nobody talk, man. You didn't let Kanye talk. You didn't let Ye talk. You didn't let the other brother, Andrew Tate. You didn't let Andrew Tate talk. You tried to shut Andrew Tate down, and then you're such a devil, Pierce Morgan, that you went and tried to ask Andrew Tate a totally irrelevant question to try to get him out of the zone and try to make another issue or another hot topic when you asked him about homosexuality and about transgenderism. He said, I don't know enough about that topic. He said, but whatever people want to do, that's on them. That's their business, right? But you did that on purpose. You purposely asked that because why? And all your false narratives against these brothers is diminishing. Like nobody cares. Everybody's finding out that you're nothing but a liar, man. Your whole media establishment is liars. And if y'all haven't figured that out yet, a lot of y'all still watching fake news network, CNN, who told you about the pandemic, the scamdemic, told everybody to wear a mask, had you in fear that you was gonna drop dead walking down the street. Like you gonna walk down the street and you just gonna die off of the COVID or whatever. And people actually believed that. And the media was lying. Now we find out that they was lying. Where's all the deaths at? Where's all the people dead at? Now they're telling you that there's more people dying that received the shot, that received the jab, than didn't receive the jab. And then y'all try to cancel You try to cancel Ice Cube. Anybody that speaks anything dealing with truth, you want to get rid of him, man. You want to cancel him.
Bring it out.
Ice Cube said he lost $9 million. That y'all didn't want to give him a movie because he didn't want to take the jab, and he lost out on $9 million.
Flyer or card or something.
Nah, y'all can give him the YouTube page. Somebody give him the page. We got a YouTube page, beloved. All right, go ahead.
And set them in order before.
No, read it again. Read from the top.
From the top. This is Psalms 50 and verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
Right, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. Meaning you began to believe the lie and thinking that God was on your side. Read on.
But I will reprove thee.
The Most High said he gonna correct you. You so-called white people, you so-called Jews. The Most High said he gonna correct you, man. Read on.
And set them in order before.
See that? And set them in order. The Most High is putting us in order right now. Go ahead.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And set them in order before thine eyes. That's why we waking up. That's why this movement is so strong. And the Most High did it, and we doing it right under your noses.
That's right.
And you ain't see the power yet. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. You haven't seen nothing yet. This is a movement that you're not gonna stop, Mr. So-called white man. You're not gonna stop it. You're not gonna put a dent in it. You can attempt to, but the only thing that, like you did with these other organizations like Islam, the Black Panthers, all these different black organizations that rose up, that you was able to infiltrate and destroy from within. You could try all you want, but what you fail to realize, we have what those other organizations don't have or never had. We have God on our side.
That's right.
We have the Heavenly Father on our side. Give me the book of Acts. Is there more? Set them in order before thine eyes. Give me the book of Acts, the 5th chapter. Acts 5 and the verse where it talks about if it be of God, you cannot overthrow it. Where it says, let them alone. It's right here somewhere. Just read that. 5 and start at verse 21 or 25.
Acts 5:38.
It's 39. What you want is at 39. You want me to start lower or you want me to start at 28? It's the book of Acts chapter 5 and 28.
Yo!
Saying, did we not straightly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. So when you start above? Yeah. 25. It's the book of Acts chapter 5 and 25. Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people.
Right, they're teaching the people. See, this is what we're doing. We're in the temple right now. Christ said this, he said, I'm going to build a temple that's not made with hands. We are the temple of the Lord. Don't you know that you are the temple of the Lord?
That's right.
Don't you know that this is church right now? We're having church right now, man. Where your preacher at? Where your pastor at? Your preacher and your pastor, you know where he at? He probably up in that strip club. He probably over there eating some damn pork somewhere.
Right.
Pork rinds with hot sauce on it. Read on.
26. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council.
Right, this is what happened to the apostles back in the ancient world. The apostles were the followers of Christ. There's 12 disciples. Go ahead.
And the high priest asked them, saying, did we not straightly command you?
Right, didn't we tell you niggas? Didn't we tell y'all stop going out there and teaching that Bible? Stop going out there and spreading those rumors. Stop going out there and teaching the people. Didn't we tell you? That's that cancel culture, man. They want to cancel us so damn bad. But guess what? You got a bunch of niggas up here that just don't care, man. That's what it is, man. That's why the Most High said, he said, I'm going to take the weak things to confound the wise. What the hell we need to care about, man? I didn't even think I was going to make it to my age that I am now.
Bring it up.
You dealing with a bunch of dudes that used to go out there and sell drugs and act like we was killers. A bunch of damn gremlins, man. We're ex-gang members, ex-killers, ex-gun clappers, ex-brothers that have been in prison.
Bring it up.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the Most High chose us to come out here and do this work.
That's right.
Because he said, man, the Most High said, man, I'm going to get me the baddest dudes I could get. The most wickedest dudes I could get. I'm going to take the wickedest niggas I could find and turn them into the most righteous men that you ever saw in your life.
That's right.
Bring it out.
Right? And we pray that we meet that criteria. Read on.
Do we not straightly command you that you
Right,
should
didn't we tell you niggas? Go ahead.
that you should not teach in his name?
That you should not teach in his name? Stop coming out here and teaching. In Hartford, they had what, the Solidos gang or whatever? We was out there teaching one day, and they ran up like, oh, y'all got to stop teaching that. You know what I'm saying? We out here trying to teach the Bible. I remember years ago, we was up in Norwalk. We had the Latin Kings run up on us then. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you go, we got somebody trying to run up on us and tell us y'all can't come out here and teach. And most of the time, it be our own damn people. Hey, Papa, y'all can't be out here teaching that. You scaring the block, or you making the block hot. Man, we don't give a damn about this block, man. And neither should you. Neither should you. Y'all still fighting over blocks, man. You still fighting over gang turf. What the hell you fighting over turf, man? You know what I'm saying? Fighting over hoods and all that. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Grow the hell up, man. Read.
And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine.
Right, we filling Jerusalem. We gonna fill our people with the doctrine of the Lord. You goddamn right, man. And you're not gonna cancel a damn thing over here, man. You can shut our channels down. We'll just go to Rumble. Right? We're going to Rumble anyway, man. Because there's a rumble in the jungle right now. That's what we doing. Go ahead.
And intent to bring this man's blood upon us.
Right, and seek to bring this man's blood upon us. Meaning they was afraid. They was afraid that the blood of Christ was going to be put on them. And the blood of Christ is going to be put on you now. Meaning you're guilty for spilling the blood of Christ. Not the righteous blood of Christ. When they talk about the blood is upon us, meaning you guilty. You had something to do with his death and execution. So now you got to pay for that. Go ahead.
And Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
See that? We going to obey God rather than men. That's why we come out here and teach. It's cold. We still out here teaching. We've been out here all day still teaching, man. Right. While a lot of y'all ready to go to the club, ready to go to the strip club, ready to go to the bar, ready to get high, ready to get nice. We out here teaching, man. Read.
Trying to get that page. Well, to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up YHWH.
Right, the God of our fathers raised up Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
Whom he slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
Right, the Israelites are the ones that's going to receive repentance. Go to the one with Gamaliel. Skip down. 39. Go ahead.
I'm going to give it to you right. Okay. 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men. Salakia. 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee, and the king in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. 36. For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself. I'm gonna go to 34. Then stood there one in the council, a Pharisee.
Right, that's the one I want. Then stood there one in the council, a Pharisee. A Pharisee means a doctor of the law. Go ahead.
Named Gamaliel.
Right, named Gamaliel. Gamaliel was a doctor. He was a top scholar among Israel. He was an elder. He's the one that actually taught Paul. He was Paul was one of his disciples before he converted and accepted Jesus Christ. When you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, go ahead.
A doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people.
Meaning he had a good reputation as a righteous man, as an elder and a scholar. Go ahead.
And commanded to put the apostles forth a little space.
And he said, put them over there. Go ahead. And
he said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men.
Right. This is what Jews, so-called white people, and you Israelites that refuse to wake up, that look at us as if we're the enemy, you better take heed what you do to us.
Right.
You better take heed. You better tread lightly. That's what that's talking about. That's what the Most High is saying. The Most High is saying, you better tread lightly when it comes to these prophets of mine. When it comes to the prophets of God, you better tread lightly. You better be careful. Go ahead.
For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught.
Right, see that? And that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening among these fake-ass other organizations. Islam, Christianity, this whole Black Lives Matter nonsense. It's being brought to nothing, man. Why? Because it's not based upon God. It's not God-breathed. The Nation of Islam, the Black Panther movement, all that is falling by the wayside. What's the other movement? The whole African movement nonsense, right? What they call that? What they call that? The African movement? Nah. Where's YHWH at? YHWH. What's that African movement? Like with them dudes?
The RPG dudes?
Nah, the African movement, man. Like with Sinetta and all them.
Oh, the conscious community?
Yeah, the Kemet conscious community, man.
Egyptology.
Yeah, Egyptology. Swallowing your own seed to create the universe type of knowledge, man. Who the hell wants to follow a religion or a belief or whatever the hell you want to call it, where you swallow your own seed and you create stars and the moon and all that?
What?
The conscious community, man. That's why you're failures, man. And I know you hating right now because Kyrie is promoting Israelites, and that Ye is promoting Israelites. And nobody even watches your channel no more. What's the name again, Side Netter. Right, Side Netter, man. Nobody even watches you no more, man. The only time you get any type of views is when you put something up there about Israel. Debating us or having Tazariak up there or one of these other Israelites up there. Then you get a couple of ratings, man.
And he Dominican. Talking about Kevin.
Yeah, and you a Dominican from the Dominican Republic. You can't even speak Spanish, man. You probably don't even eat rice and beans, bro. But you want to be a damn African eating damn snake and elephant meat and stuff like that, man. Zebra meat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you want to be a damn Hamite with a damn plate in your lip. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to be?
Golden showers and all that.
Yeah, golden showers, sticking your head up a damn cow's butt, letting the cow defecate and doodle on you. Talking about his incense. Why don't you do all that, man? Stop wearing deodorant. Y'all want to be African so much, stop wearing damn deodorant, man. Read on.
37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing and drew many away, much people after him.
Right, you want to drive people away from the truth. That's really what it's about. It's about y'all trying to get people away from us to come and join you. But if anybody leaves this organization to join you, good riddance. You can have them. Because they weak-minded and they're not men of the Lord. The Most High hasn't chose them. The
Bring it out.
spirit ain't with them, man. This is a spiritual thing. That's why you got brothers that come into this faith. We ready to die for this faith, man.
Right.
We ready to put our life on the line for this faith.
Bring it out.
And we don't get paid for none of this, man. Our reward is in the kingdom. Go ahead.
That's right.
He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone.
Right, you better leave us the hell alone. Y'all trying to cancel us? You trying to come at us? Don't you know anything you do to us is going to backfire?